Hey everybody out there in the internet world, my name is Tom and we're going to try something new today. This is my first time doing this and hey, we're going to see if it works, and if it doesn't, we're just going to try harder next time. So listen, here's what we're going to try and do today. Today I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on on one pinball game in particular that I am very fond of. If you know me, you know I love The Mandalorian, and Star Wars Day is coming up on May the 4th, so I thought what better time to go ahead and do a little tutorial on The Mandalorian. So that's what we're going to do today. So if you care to join me for a little bit today, we're going to go over the rule sets, we're going to go over some trick shots, show you how to do a couple of things, and maybe get you a little bit more knowledge about The Mandalorian pinball. I know there's not a lot of love for this game because it is a very hard pinball table to play. I will agree with all of that. But at the same time, I know there's a lot of good in this pinball table too, with just a little bit of knowledge. So with that being said, why don't we dive into it and talk a little bit more about it, okay?
All right, so here we are, Mandalorian pinball table. I'm going to have the rules up on the screen so that way you can kind of go over it with me at the same time, so that way you're not feeling lost or wondering what the hell it is that I'm talking about. I've got the same playbook right here in my hand, so we're just going to kind of go over a little bit of that. But before we get into that, I am going to go over the skill shots that are involved with this game. The first skill shot, and by the way, I do have the glass off so I can grab the ball, because as good as I am at pinball, I don't want to waste your time trying to hit these shots that you all can see at the same time, okay? So just picture in your mind that I'm making all of these shots. Like a Jedi mind trick kind of thing. All right, so here we go. So the first thing about The Mandalorian, there are two different kinds of skill shots. If you've ever played a Stern pinball table before, you know holding the left flipper will get you a secret skill shot on a lot of the pinball tables. This one, no different whatsoever. But the first thing I will point out is the regular skill shot. Now, this is not a very fun skill shot to try and hit. Here's the reason why. You'll see up here, there is a CHILD. This goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's very random. If the pinball actually hits that target when it's lit, you get that shot. I think it's like a couple 100,000 points, nothing really to write home about. But the skill shot we're going to be talking about today is a three-part skill shot. The first part of this is when you hold the left flipper, the ball is going to come all the way around to where the C is at, and it's going to hopefully land on your left flipper. This is going to give us a shot to go for the U-turn scoop that we have right here. The U-turn scoop is the first shot that you have to hit on this skill shot. After you hit that U-turn scoop, the next shot you're going to hit is the right ramp over here. The right ramp is very difficult with the forehand of the left flipper, much easier doing backhanded on the right flipper. After you hit that shot, it's going to give you three different options. The first option is you can hit the middle. If you hit the middle for your third shot, that's going to give you an instant multi-ball wherever it's landing at. The second option that you're going to have is you can hit the left ramp. That's going to start your encounters. The third option you're going to have is hitting the scoop. You're going to hear me say Carl Weathers a lot. I call it the Carl Weathers scoop because it's a lot cooler to say. Hit the Carl Weathers shot, that's going to give you a mission start. So you're going to have three different options after you hit the first two. I'm going to grab the ball. I know this goes against everything pinball gods related in this world. I'll take the heat later on for what I'm about to do. But I am going to take the ball. I'm going to hit the first three shots to kind of show you what happens. Or actually, I'm going to hit the first two shots, but I'm going to skip the third shot because we don't want to start any modes yet. I want to go over those one by one with you. So, like I said, hold the left flipper, clutch the ball, and you'll see your first shot is going to be that scoop right there. If you hit the scoop, you get the first shot. If you take this over here to the right ramp, you can backhand that shot, and then it's going to give you the three options that I talked about right here. The first one being your multi-ball, the second being your encounters, and the third being your mission. Now, let's dive into it and talk about some of the basic rules of this game, okay? In this game, there are 5 missions. There are, let me hold that flipper here real quick. Got my piece of tape to hold the left flipper so we don't have a ball search all day long. So, the first thing is 5 missions, 3 multi-balls, 3 different encounters. The problem with the encounters, when I say there's 3 encounters, there's 3 modes to each encounter. So technically, I guess you could say there's 9 encounters. But we're going to go over that here in a second. The first thing I want to talk about is the multi-ball. Oh, I'm sorry, the missions. All right, I'm going to get my act together here in a second. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the missions. How do you get a mission? There's a couple of different ways in the beginning to get a mission. The first way is you can hit the right ramp. Hit the ramp or left ramp, and then you'll hit the car weather scoop. Now, they've made it a little bit easier so you don't have to do all 3 of those options in the very beginning. You can hit the car weather scoop 3 times. That will start your mission. After you get done with the first mission, you can then go back and hit the car weather scoop again 3 times. If you hit that car weather scoop 3 times, you get the second mission. But this is where the game gets a little harder. It won't let you keep hitting the car weather scoop over and over and over again, because that would just be way too easy. The Mandalorian is not about easy. So what happens on missions 3 through 5? You gotta hit these shots. The right ramp, the left ramp, and then you can hit the car weather shot to start that mode. It doesn't matter what order you start with the ramps. You can hit the left ramp first and then the right ramp, or you can hit the right ramp and then the left ramp and then go for the car weathers. But that's only after 3 modes that you're after 2 modes that you started. Now, to go over the next part, a little more daunting. We're going to talk about, let me get my piece of paper here. We're going to talk about, as soon as I get it going here. All right, we're going to talk about the Razor Crest multi-balls, I think. There it is. All right. So next up, we're going to be talking about the Razor Crest multi-balls. This is probably my favorite part of the game because it's really easy to do. So, up the middle. You're going to hear me say up the middle a lot. We're going to keep this PG, I promise you. You're going to go straight up the middle. That green arrow that's flashing right here, that's your money shot right there. You want to hit that the first time. Not once, not twice, but 3 times on your first go around. Then you'll see that the arrows that are green are now flashing green and white and very, very fast. Once you hit that again, that's going to start your multi-ball, which is really fun. A lot of people get intimidated by some of the multi-balls that they have on this game. I'm going to grab all 3 balls so we don't get a little crazy here. But that is how you start your multi-balls, is by going up the middle and getting that. There are 3 different kinds of multi-balls. The one that I am in right now is called Jetpack Multi-Ball. That is number 2. If you were to hit the Boba Fett targets over here to the right, that will change which multi-ball you go into. A lot of people don't know that fact. If you have a certain multi-ball that you're really good at or you enjoy playing, make sure you hit the Boba Fett targets over here to the right. That way you get exactly what it is that you're looking for. Once again, all you have to do is just hit the middle 3 times. On the 4th time, you start your multi-ball. Now here's where things get a little tricky. I'm in that multi-ball real quick. I think I'm going to end the multi-ball. There we go. Alright. So now that that's over, I'm going to wait to get my ball back here. All right. We're going to plunge the ball and grab it real fast here. All right. Get my left flipper held up here so it doesn't do a ball search. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you cannot hit the middle to get your multi-ball again. And here's why. Back in the early code, they had it to where you could get multi-ball every single time going up the middle. That was way too easy. Mandalorian doesn't like to be easy. So here's what they did. You now get a hurry up after you hit this 3 times. 1, 2, 3. On the 4th one, you get your hurry up. You know what? I want to see the score on here. Hang tight 1 second. There we go. I'm going to put the score up here real quick. Kind of see on the screen what's going on here as well too. Should be coming up here in just a second. I think. I can. There it is. All right. If I can get this going here. There we go. Alright, turn the display off. Told you this was going to be a work in progress kind of day. Alright, there we go. Alright, now you can see everything that's on the screen that I have going on here. So I hit the middle 3 times. That's going to start a hurry up when I hit it the 4th time. The hurry up goes like this. Oh. So now the Razor Crash hurry up is going. You'll see my score slowly going down, but the quicker I hit the center shot, the faster I get, the more points I gain. In the beginning, you're going to have 2 hurry ups. If you have any of your multipliers lit, that's going to give you an extra hit for the hurry up for just gaining some more points. But also, after that is done, you're going to get your multi-ball back. You'll see that the lights are green again. The problem is that now, when you hit that shot, you have to hit it 5 times, and then a 6th time to start the multi-ball. But once you start that multi-ball, the fun begins. Alright, so we've went over the modes. We've went over the multi-ball. Now we're going to talk about my least favorite thing, the encounters. Let me roll it up here. So, you must hit the left ramp 1 time to start the encounters. The encounters is going to be the helmet that you see right here. When you go inside of the helmet right there, that's going to be your 3 different modes that you got to complete. I'm going to throw it up there so you can kind of see what's going on. So we've got the mode started for encounters. It's called Protect the Shop. Here's how it works. In the first phase, you got to hit those 2 targets up there. And if you don't hit it, you got to start all over again. Once again, like I said, not one of my favorite moves. So don't let the ball go down the middle. Alright, that's not embarrassing at all. Let's get to the part where we talk about the encounters real quick. I don't think I did my questionnaires right, so you know what we're going to do? We are going... Alright, so here's what we're going to do. Lunch the ball. We're going to try and get that encounters again real quick. There we go. Alright, once again, you got to hit one target. Alright, after you do that, it becomes 3 different targets. I hit one of the extra ones. But now you have to hit this, this, and this to get to the next mode. And you'll see how quick it is up there as well, too. Easiest way to get back there is to hit the backhand on the left flipper. This is a big backhand heavy game. All right, so now you see I've got 1, 2, and now the third mode is lit. So now it's just up to getting the third mode done to complete the first encounter. One more time. All right. So let's hope to get this last one. No, one more hit to go. All right. After you get the last hit here. This game. This is why people pre-record this stuff. I get it now. All right. But you see how easy it is to backhand at least. One more time. All right. So now we get into this last encounter. I'm going to get it over here to the other flip. All right. So that completes the first encounter. What happened to my... There it is. All right. So now everything's blowing up. Bubble Fett does his little side stare. You get your points for the encounter. That is now officially done. Now you're going to see on the screen, as soon as I catch the ball, you've got the first encounter done on the screen here. I've got the first multi-ball done, and it's showing that number 3 is available, and the second encounter is available. Now let's go back to the missions we were talking about earlier. Hitting the left flipper, or hitting the Carl Weather shot, that's going to get your mode started if you hit it 3 times. Or you can hit the left ramp and the right ramp and still get the mode started. But the easiest way is to do Carl Weathers. The first mode is mode 5, which is the infiltrate the freighter. 3 shots. 1. Sorry, can't do this. 2, and then 3. This in turn is also going to get in my extra ball because as soon as you start mode 1, you also light the extra ball. Now the nice thing about freighters, or the infiltrate the freighter, is that you now have 2 shots. The first shot to get it done would be hitting the Carl Weather shot. The first shot would be to hit the Carl Weather shot. After you do that, the mode's over. Collect your bounty, have a great day. If you can catch the ball, right back into the Carl Weather shot, hit that 3 times. That's going to get your mode started again. We're just going to catch the ball and get it over there. Just kidding. The outlanes on this game are probably the most treacherous thing. Alright, that's my second hit. Now we've got our third hit. The second mode is the Siege the Magistrate. This one's a little more complicated because the shots are on the right side and they're not the easiest shots to hit. So the first shot I usually go for is the ramp. If you can get ball control, go for the left ramp after that. And then after you hit that, it's the right bit. If you did it. It's all about ball control. There's the last one. And then for the last hit, you got to do the right turnabout. Then, we got into something I wasn't ready for. Alright, that completes the mission. So, left turnabout, right ramp, left ramp, right orbit, left turnabout, and then Carl Weathers. Not one of the easiest modes to get done. Now, I started something called the Hunter. I was going to talk about this later on, but there are 3 targets over to my right here, called the Hunter. When you light that, it lights up the out lanes over here on the left and right, or the, not out lanes, but the inner lanes. Targets on that, you have to hit the right outer lane, and then you have to hit the left lane. Easiest way ever, there is no backhand option for that. Try it with your flipper. There you go. There's the left.
And then you want to hit it
Hit the right. Or the right. I hit the right. I want to hit the left. I'm here today. There's the other. That will complete the hunter. It will also get you a playfield multiplier on the screen as well too. We're going to go back to the missions real fast though. To start the next mission, you cannot hit the scoop. Oh, well, I tell you what, since the foundry's lit, let's talk about the foundry. So you're going to see something on my screen called the Beskar. That right there. Beskar is what you use to buy things in the game. That is through the foundry. After you get a couple hundred Beskar, the foundry lights up. There's a lot of cool things in the foundry. The first thing that we're going to talk about in the foundry is going to be the armor. That adds to your ball save. It takes 200. I didn't pick anything yet though, so it automatically picked for me. Horrible. Alright. We're not going to talk about that yet. Alright. So, as I was talking about earlier, the missions. You cannot start another mission by going into Carl Weathers multiple times. It's just going to laugh at you every single time. It's going to tell you to hit the target ramps to be able to start the next mission whenever you go into Carl Weathers. See, shoot ramps for light mission. So, the best way to do this, backhand, up the right. Talk about the child here. I gotta get this pre-recorded next time, right? Alright. Then you're going to take it up the left ramp. And then you have the mission available. So once again, after mission 2, or after 2 missions are done, that's the only way you can start a mission after that. The mission I have started is the Mudhorn. It has 4 different target shots. The first one I need to go for is on the left-hand side. But we have the second phase of the encounter started, not to worry about it. We're just going to try and complete the mission. So now I've got right, up, come here. There's up the middle, and that's also going to start a multiplier. But let's go over. So that kind of gives you the brief overview synopsis of how to play the Mandalorian basics. Very, very basics. Hold the left flipper. Don't let it out. Try and go for the secret skill shot. Now like that. There you go. There's the first one. There's the second one. Just like that. It's a multi-bot. So glad I was able to do that on live stream. So, with that being said, that's how you get something started real fast in this game. Hold your left flipper, hit those 2 shots, go up the middle, you now got a multi-ball. Alright, we're going to hold on to these balls for a second. We'll let that go by so I can go over the next parts. Actually, we're just going to restart because damn. Alright. So we're going to talk about missions real quick. Once again, Carl Weathers, 1 time. Carl Weathers, 2 times. Carl Weathers, 3 times. And now you've got your mission started. To see the magistrate. And you got your extra ball in as well too. So that's the other benefit of kind of going for the missions first. Get your extra ball out of the way before it's too late and you're on ball 3 trying to get that going. So listen, I just wanted to take a brief moment. This is my first time doing it. I promise it's going to be a little better the second time because you learn from your mistakes. But with that being said, I hope you had a quick second to kind of learn a little bit more about the Mandalorian. And the next time you step up to it, maybe you don't feel as intimidated anymore. With that being said, my name's Tom. I'm here at Level Up Pinball Bar. Love to see you up here. Until next time, keep flipping.